Hi, it's Nance Schick, attorney, mediator, and conflict resolution coach in New York City. And I want to go a little bit deeper into unmet expectations and how do you resolve those and keep yourself out of court, right? Because my goal is to keep you out of court and build your conflict resolution skills so that ideally you never have to go to court except for maybe a marriage certificate, a business license, or jury duty, right? I know some people would probably roll their eyes when they see jury duty, but I personally find it very interesting. Maybe because I'm an attorney, I do understand that has a whole different bundle of issues, but I just hope that we can keep you out of court, except for those kinds of things that are hopefully a little more enjoyable than being a party. So, unmet expectations. What do you do when someone comes to you and expresses that their expectations weren't met? And I can give you a great example of how this could be resolved. It's not a situation where I'm necessarily going to have a lawsuit, but it does give you an idea of the process and all of the opportunities that you have leading up to the complaint. So, in this situation, I had paid for a service and paid a little extra for this particular service for the convenience of having a, we'll just say it was in a race, right? I'm running a race, and I've run this race for years. And I decided this year, because of my boyfriend and I both working really long hours, that we would prefer to have our bibs mailed to us and make it easy for us to get to the race on time, be with the team that we're running with, and have everything just kind of set up in advance. I find that to just help me a lot when I'm very stressed out. I paid for the service. And again, although I don't really have a claim, it wouldn't be worth taking it to court. It's the way that this was handled that is I think indicative of what happens in a lot of these situations. So I don't get the bib. I reach out to them and say, "Hey, what's going on? Is there a way for me to get another one?" And I instead of asking, instead of answering my question of, "Can you mail me another one, or can I come pick it up?" I get a response that is immediately defensive, kind of like, "Well, we did what we were supposed to. I see that that actually it was my boyfriend's bib that didn't come." And bib meaning, for those of you who aren't runners, it's the number, right? The number that we need to run in the race. And his didn't come. And so they said, "Well, we see that he registered and asked for no T-shirt and had nothing to do with whether or not the bib was in the mail." So, I said, "How do I get another one? There's still time." At this point, we're talking, it's probably Tuesday, the race is on Sunday. And instead of being solutions oriented, this person that I'm dealing with became very task oriented. Just, "Oh, well, I checked the box, I responded." And instead of listening to what I was really asking for, is how do I get a bib so he can run in the race? I kept getting these, task oriented things and these excuses for why things can't be done. So, and I think this is what gets a lot of people very frustrated. And in certain situations, it can land you in court because someone's coming to you with a disappointment at this unmet expectation, and they're saying, "I just want it fixed." And instead of getting a solution, there's this, "Well, it's not my fault, right? I can't do anything about it. This is on you now." And as someone who's paid for a service, that's very disappointing. I don't know that I will ever run with this group again, even though I believe in the cause and I've been running this for such a long time. It's now made me think they don't value me, and I think, why would I want to spend my money? Because, right, money is a way of keeping score and having influence and sharing experiences. And why would I want to do all of those things with someone who doesn't value me? Now, in a legal realm, you can see that if this were a situation where it was a much higher dollar transaction, I might not only end the relationship and be very disappointed and spread the news about how horrible they are, all of these things that are not the potential of resolving it, But if I did have enough money at stake, I might take this to court. And I think that's what people miss out on is there's an attitude of like, don't admit that you did anything. And don't ever say you're sorry, right? That might be a sign of weakness. And I know some of my colleagues will even say just don't speak to anyone. But you can also see from life experience and court experience that a lot of these cases that end up in court end up there because one of the parties feels like they were dismissed and not heard, and it really wasn't their problem. Especially when you're a customer, you have an expectation of getting what you paid for. So, the value of that goes well beyond what was paid for. It's that goodwill. It's having a brand advocate. And as a business owner myself, I think about these things as I would love for all my clients to be brand advocates and tell people that I did a great job for them. I know that's not always possible, but I always ask for the opportunity to create that resolution and have them at least leave knowing that I cared enough to take extra steps to repair the relationship. So that's what I invite you to do. When you want to stay out of court, really look at the relationships that you're creating with the people that you do business with or that you work with, and think about them as human beings, right? That will help keep you out of court. So again, I'm Nance Schick. I'm at 212-804-7041. You can find out more about my services at N as in Nancy, Schick, law.com. Thank you. Have a great day.